Hello and a very warm welcome to my channel. This afternoon, we give you a story. We finally understand Meghan forced Harry left royal family. Recently, we have been told that Prince Harry was angry at the term Megxit because he thought that he was the main reason Sussexes left the royal family. However, the story was placed out there to make Meghan look better, nicer, kinder, and sweet. Meghan's image is bad, with most disliking her. She needs to be a victim, and Harry must take the fall now. Based on what a palace source and friends of Meghan are saying today is basically refuting the claim Harry wanted to move to America and be miserable. Fox, CNN, and one other source say Meghan felt like an outsider and thought there was a conspiracy against her once she joined the royal family. Of course, Meghan was an outsider. Was she expecting her fairy godmother to make her an Englishwoman overnight? I was an outsider when I married my husband, and I wasn't immediately grafted into his family tree. Meghan is now basically saying she was unhappy from day one of moving over. So what is the truth? Again, we must sort through all the stories, almost daily now, and they are contradicting at points. So Meghan was unhappy from the wedding forward, yet she was planning on leaving the UK before her wedding to Harry. She can still feel like an outsider within many different groups, and I wonder how hard Meg's tried to help Catherine or was kind and easygoing to Sophie or Catherine's staff and daughter. When it comes to an in-law's children, one must tread carefully, and it does sound like Bridezilla opened her mouth and scared Princess Charlotte. That's not a nice way to ease one's way into a family at all. Back to Harry. He looks miserable, so why not have him say, after all this time, that he planned on moving away from his family? Is Harry going to admit he wanted to move away in October of 2017? Meghan knew heading into her engagement that she was not going to remain in the UK. That means she wasn't going to put too much effort in getting along with people who got in her way. They were all a means to an end: Catherine, Prince William, who wouldn't even look at her that way, and not even Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall. Not even her mother-in-law? Well, look at Meg's track record when it comes to family. She has a huge family on Doria's side, with a dear uncle who managed to get Meg an internship. Was he at the wedding giving her away? No. Was that uncle in the church? Was he invited? No. Meghan uses people and dumps them. It's what she does. Knowing that she would hardly ever see Harry's family again, Meghan didn't seem to want to put forth the effort to be nice, polite, and above all kind. Who would want Meghan for a daughter? Thomas? Who took in Meghan when Doria served her time? It's so sad she will face him in court. A British court. She is entirely out of her depth now. Rudderless. So did Harry, on top of Meghan saying she felt like the courtiers were spying on her and no one was helping her, did Harry want to leave the UK? Reports today, after 5 months, said he did. It is about the book that will cobble Meghan's fractured, tarnished image together again. The book claims Harry wanted to leave all the royals. Right here from Cosmo, from a friend. This statement made by a friend says Meghan would support Harry in whatever he did. So if he wanted to remain in the UK with his family, Meghan supported that? Where is the evidence that she even tried? There is none. Her statement of supporting Harry is hollow and strange. Remember, Meghan is on record as saying she intended to leave the UK. To be an international royal. Or to come back to Hollywood. Did Harry drove the decision? Really? The two met and bonded over hating Harry's family at the same time. Their romance centered on how to ghost the royal family, whilst still getting paid and security paid by them. Is that it? I feel like it's all strange. This book is going to make Meghan the consummate victim. She will drain Harry dry, make him look so awful to his family, there will be no bridge left back for him to cross over. Meghan ruins relationships. Ask Trevor Engelson. He found out Meg's was done with their marriage by mail. Who does this? Really creepy people who are unkind and uncaring. I suspect Harry is in so deep now, he cannot think. Meghan will use these weeks leading up to the book to paint herself as victimized by the big, bad royal family, and the terrible citizens of Great Britain. Plus, apparently, Harry was deceived painfully when Meghan Markle was known for hanging out with her boyfriend, Marcus Anderson, and they made a plan for Meghan to meet and marry a rich man. Very rich. As in more than a decamillionaire, and hopefully a billionaire. Well, the royal family looks tremendously rich on paper, but they are a family-run business. The British royal family is worth an estimated $88 billion, so when Meghan saw Harry at yet another Soho house, this time in Toronto, she decided, apparently with the approval of Marcus, to chase Prince Harry and see if he would fall for her. We know Harry and Meghan did have a date or two, and enjoyed themselves, but Harry said his goodbyes, and Markle was in his rearview mirror. Or so he thought. When Meghan showed up at Inskip's wedding, several things happened. Well, the bride was completely upstaged, but Meghan didn't care if the paparazzi ruined Laura's wedding day, because she wanted Harry. Make that Prince Harry with a worth of billions, right? Since Meghan had the guts to gatecrash a wedding in Jamaica, because she seemed to know Inskip too, and the other guests knew this was super awkward for Laura and Tom Inskip, they pointedly ignored Meghan. Completely. Look at all the photos of the day, and who is talking to Meghan? Just Harry. Prince Harry felt anxious and trapped on an island with an ex, so he became inebriated. Meghan was coming on strongly to a drunk Harry, and later on, Tom Inskip told Harry not to marry Meghan. We also know from the established timelines, and not the sweet ones about a couple romantically dating for a solid 16 months, that Harry didn't meet up with Markle again until much later in the year. Invictus Games 2017. September. Toronto. Who lives in Toronto? Marcus Anderson. And Meghan did too, so they gatecrashed the Invictus Games, and that's why Prince Harry looked deeply distressed. Would this woman not take a hint and leave him alone? But no, she wasn't, and Marcus was helping her snag a billionaire prince. We've seen the pic of Marcus being very aggressive with Harry while Meghan had her head down. Very strange for her, and Harry looked like he was under severe duress. What went down in that box at the Invictus Games is not the stuff of which fairy tales are made. Meghan had already given her interview to Vanity Fair, where she copped to being wild about Harry. The royals had absolutely no clue Meghan had granted an interview about her relationship with their Prince Harry. Harry didn't even see it coming. And now the woman was showing up with her friend Marcus at the games? Prince Harry dated Meghan from that time on, culminating in Meghan moving over to live with Harry in the UK. 1 week of living together and Harry got down on one knee and asked Meghan to marry him. The sad part? Well, if the story isn't sad enough already, it gets worse. Meghan Markle had said she would leave the UK, long before she walked down that aisle toward her filthy rich fiancé, but imagine her surprise when she discovered Harry didn't even have a mere billion to his name. Maybe $100 million? She does have discerning taste, after all. No. Not even close. I do wonder if Meghan thought about bailing, but she saw where branding had worked wonders for the Beckhams and the Kardashians. It would work for her. Except for Sussex Royal, all came to nothing, and suddenly the couple had left the UK with Harry having less than $35 million to his name. That's far cry from $1 billion. Meghan married for money. But, how many women can say they married a real British prince? She could make that work. And look at Harry now. Stuck in the middle of a mass of celebrities who own so much more than he. Stuck in someone else's mansion, because he cannot afford a Hollywood mansion. Cannot. With 4 layers of security teams, how easy would it be for Harry to walk away from all of this? Can you imagine him asking for his mother's jewelry back? No. Meghan is street smart and she will use Harry. I don't see this marriage ending well. Meghan still looks like her happy self, but Harry. Distressing to see him away from family and friends. Meanwhile, Harry is a weak man and a bit dim. Those are not my words but have been said by many from both within the royal household and alleged friends. If you are friend, why would you say something like that? He is dim, as he himself has admitted, struggled with school with bad grades, etc., despite private tutors, etc. So while Harry had forever claimed he was going to quit generally after some bad press, he never did. Then Meghan turned up on the scene, and yes, despite Harry's protestations, it is perfectly fair to blame her for them leaving the firm. Unbeknown to the royal household, Meghan had kept her North American advisors, PR and marketing teams. They never stopped working and were planning the cashing in. We know all of this because they were paid and declared it. Promoted themselves to other clients stating their work. Even published it on their website. Oops, it wasn't intentional, but everyone was just so proud of the really stupid Sussex Royal website and products they had developed. Just one problem: they, of course, were completely out of their depth, and those pesky things that you do in the US such as trademark searches etc. were the wrong things to do in this case. And for all the hate I generally receive for pointing out the PR tricks, the couple does not donate to charity. Save the Children did not receive money for Archie's photos, the elephant documentary, well Meghan got paid and the charity only receives money if there is a profit. Yes, a profit for a documentary film that was released on Disney+, no chance of that making money, but hey, Meghan got paid. This type of funding model is illegal under UK charity rules, hence the change of tack. It probably is legal in the US. I have been very careful to point out her team. It is up to you what involvement you believe Meghan contributed, ran. I did this to answer the question and show the connections that since it is her team, it is her responsibility that Harry left at this time. My personal view is that Harry would have struggled to be spare and would have stepped back. Like Andrew, he would have had no real role as George and others grew up. And you? What do you think about them? Please let me know in the comment below and we talk about them. If you feel so comfortable with my channel, remember to like and subscribe to it. Also, share my video for everyone who needs it. Now, thank you for watching, goodbye, and see you in the next videos.